All right. All right. Where did I put that? Maybe shut the window. This back as far as possible. Ah. Thank you. Oh shit. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Man, my camera is so crooked. Got my table. I can't tell if anybody's in here, you know? Hold on. Hold on. What if? I'm gonna put this. Like so. God, I should do so many things differently. You know? Put that there. Yeah, it's gonna be the Last Ronin in here. Yeah, I have a nice little table. This is where I sit. Stuff back there. Pretty cool. Yeah. The weird thing about TikTok Live, like you can't hear anything, right? Like I have my headphone in, but there's no sound. So as a broadcaster, much respect to anybody who does this, because it's just very strange. Very strange indeed. So welcome everybody. Yeah, we got... This is a comic book, but this is The Last Ronin. I got the figure in from AliExpress. Anybody who's ordered from AliExpress will know. This is their packaging. Not a box. Not a box, folks. Which is definitely a problem if you're like an inbox collector and you want to have like a perfect box. This is as good as the packaging gets, honestly, because they just don't use boxes. I guess it's cheaper. Obviously, it's cheaper. It's just like a bubble wrap bag. Sometimes they've gotten away from it, but some of the sellers do just literally bubble wrap. So if you can imagine taking like a figure of any kind, the boxes usually are pretty flimsy to begin with. And they bubble wrap it and send it overseas, and so it just gets mashed all to hell. So, yeah, that's the downside of AliExpress. But, so they manufacture the toys, and then they set them free to their distributors, which, since they're made in China, all the Chinese sellers get them instantly, and they can start selling them right away. And that's months and months before... like I'm in the US, but pretty much everywhere else in the world, it's months, a couple months, 6 months, depending on what it is, before. So if you're willing to risk some damage, you can get figures very early. But yeah, I'll just give it a few more minutes. How's everyone doing today? I'm on my lunch break because I'm a working man. I gotta pay the bills to get all this shit. Oh man, it's worth it. I mean, it's how you keep from unaliving yourself at your corporate day job, So, yeah, yep. Everybody hear me okay? Right? right? I should do over here more still. But yeah. Last Ronin. I have my phone mirrored to my TV. That's why I'm looking that way. Because, yeah, the TikTok live experience, not super good. And this way you guys can see any text, which there's not a ton of text on a figure, but you can read all of it. This is the Last Ronin hardcover, by the way. Would definitely recommend it. It's like, I don't know, $30. Usually you can get cheaper on Amazon. Pretty good story. And, of course, the art. Freaking killer. So, yeah. Toy World. Yeah, these are... One of my current favorite turtles is actually the Playmates Mirage turtle. Which, they're in a 2-pack with the Stranger Things folks, right? And so it's $40 total, essentially $20 per figure. So for $20, I think this is a pretty damn awesome Mirage turtle. Yeah. One thing is, the right hand of these, they made bigger so they can hold like some of the other accessories. So it's loosey-goosey, so you can see I did like a green rubber band on it to hold it in place, which is a lot cooler. Yeah, the Stranger Things figures, honestly, I mean, they're not bad. And again, they're effectively $20, $40 for the pack. Like, there's no paint on Hopper's pants, really. The shirt, pretty stellar. I really like the Hopper figure, actually. But yeah, in terms of, like, figures, unless you're into Stranger Things, there's not a lot there. There's 11. Jesus. But yeah, the Mirage Turtles, and I got Leo here. I'll show you with Leo. So the one hand, it's a nice, good, grippy hand, right? It's not going to come off. This other one, they made it, and it's cool, but so they come with this, like, cassette player headset, which is fun. But for one, like, the headset doesn't fit on his giant Frico turtle head. It just doesn't unless you want to, like, really bend it and break it. But they can hold the little cassette in their hand, which is nifty, right? Like, he's ready to jam out. That's cool. He can also hold his Eggo throwing star. Super fun. He's ready to kill people with breakfast. But if you want him to hold his sword, and I actually I scratched some paint off it. Interesting. You have to, like, I don't know if you can tell, in the corner there. You have to, like, wedge it into the hand. Because if you just put it in the hand, it's going to fall right out. So it's not good. So you can wedge it in there, which apparently is bad for the paint. Or what I did for Raph. I just did some rubber band. I tried to get, like, as dark a green as possible to match. I imagine it's like a hand wrap thing they're always wearing. But yeah, effectively, for $20, I think these Mirage Turtles, honestly, some of the best. I think the head sculpt, they're big. They're like bigger than 7 inches, but I think they're pretty damn good. So, I don't know. The only thing you need is a hell of a lot of shelf space everywhere. You know, it's kind of a problem. So, who's ready for the Last Ronin? I don't usually get a ton of viewers on my lives, so this really is for you. me, you. Very intimate, very cozy. So let's start out. So yeah, you go on AliExpress. It's essentially like it's like, think of it as like Chinese Amazon. They have a ton of stuff. You want to be careful because some of the figures are bootlegs. Generally, figures that are a couple years old, almost everything they have of them is bootlegs. But the newer figures, like the Monsters line, all that, that's just straight from the factory. They just give them to the Chinese distributors first. So they're not bootlegs. They're not knockoffs. They're not like. Some people think they're like factory defects. They're not that either. They just give them to those sellers first, and since there's no overseas shipping for them, they have them right away. They don't need to send them to like sellers or whatnot. So you'll order from them. Usually it's cheaper. Like this one retails for what? It's like $39. I got this on AliExpress. It was like 25 or 21. $13 shipping, so it evens out. So you want to be careful, but yeah, so you get it in this kind of... Honestly, it looks like they sent you contraband. I mean, it looks like you're going to open this up and find like a brick or something. But so the shipping for me, it took about 2 weeks. So you have that, and no box. Right, but you're going to get here... It's kind of like a heavy-duty bubble wrap bag, which it's pretty good, honestly. So it's literally as good as you can protect them. And this one, ooh, look. You can really luck out, and sometimes you can really not luck out. I've seen some people smashed all to hell, right? But if you look at mine, I mean, kind of, you can't really tell. It's kind of a little pushed in. But honestly, this is fucking flawless. So I would say, folks, AliExpress did me a freaking solid. This is minty as hell. Yeah. The bubble wrap bag... The Last Ronin, it kept him good. So, here we have this lovely, I believe this is Ben Bishop artwork. And he's actually going to be selling real soon some of these signed, I think, if you're into that. But look at that artwork. That's just killer artwork. This is a figure from NECA, by the way, if you don't know. Where is it? NECA. See, NECA makes all these. You can see these are the folks who made this figure. Awesome team. The packaging for NECA on these is stellar. So you open it up, you have kind of like a nice shot of the figure itself, right? And then the nice display window. So if you're an in-box collector, NECA is hands down probably the best because they just give you such an awesome display package. I'm thinking of framing these, you know. But you have things on the back. There's a story on the back. Let's see here. We'll try to read it. Who is the Last Ronin? In a future battle-raged New York City, a lone surviving turtle embarks on a seemingly hopeless mission seeking justice for the family he lost. From legendary TMNT co-creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird comes the final story of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 decades in the making. Apparently they wanted to make this story for a long, long time. Both of them have since kind of sold their stuff on the TMNT, but what terrible events destroyed his family and left New York City a crumbling, post-apocalyptic nightmare? All will be revealed in this climactic Turtles tale that sees longtime friends become enemies and new allies emerging in the most unexpected places. Can the surviving turtle triumph? So, let's crack this bad boy open. There is a little seal at the top. Let's cut that. All right. The the one thing that sucks with AliExpress, the little hang thing does get bent. Aside from that, though, we're just gonna pop him open. Oh boy. Get this out? Okay. So they usually come, the cardboard, you can kind of use it as like a little backdrop. That's nice. I save everything. We got the box there. And then we have the Ronin himself. Nice little packaging. Great display. And of course, some of you may know the Last Ronin. Spoilers, if you don't want to hear, cover your ears. Cover your ears for those spoilers. It's Michelangelo. Everyone else has died. He's the only one left. God, they secure these in here very well. I kind of hate cutting them, frankly. Hey everybody, welcome. Because I hate having all the plastic shit, but sometimes it's not worth it. Sorry, I also have the world's creakiest chair. So let's do a little snippy snapping. Keyboard over there. Yeah, they just have it. Yeah, and I am using nail clippers. Sue me. Collecting action figures is a dirty, grimy thing, folks. It just is. God, they have so fucking many. Like it's a little too secure, frankly. God damn. Hold on, we'll get it. We'll get that. Maybe not. I don't know. Fuck, man. Oh shit. They also they did a kind of an annoying thing where his backhand goes through it. Christ. You're almost free, my dude. Oh. Hold on. Nope. Jesus. Yeah, so you just have a bunch of these fucking things. It's not like elastic, but alrighty. We have our Ronin, the last one. Hell of a midsection swivel there. Look at that. Hey, Andrea. Hey. How's it going? Thank you for the likes, everyone. Thank you. Oh, that one, that's like it's like a plastic bit, but there's actually string there. That's cool, but also kind of brittle. So we got our dude here. His little hat popped off. He has a little hood. Look at him. Now there's like a hole in the back of his head, and then a little piece on the hood. So if you want to slap that on, he is bald. He's a bald, representing the bald community, which it's nice. Some of us kind of going bald, so it's nice to see a fellow bald in action figures form. Bay vs. Team NT. I think they're a little too big. I mean, it's cool that they're like mutated monsters. So if you saw them in the world, you'd be like, yeah, that's a fucking mutant, and I'm scared. But in terms of like being a ninja, they're kind of just too large. And the first movie didn't focus on the turtles enough, though the second one they really kind of addressed that. And it's probably in terms of like Bebop and Rocksteady, Krang. It's the only time we've seen Krang, so I think that's a pretty good series overall. So we have here, in terms of articulation, ooh. Thank you for the likes. Thank you, Andrea. If you're into articulation, it's going to be limited because he has the shoulder pad. Kind of the arm swivels around. The wrist. That's all pretty good. The legs, again, pretty good, but they really can't go out too far. But I think, honestly, most of the Turtles figures across any of the lines, the articulation isn't super great. But this guy's pretty good wearing sandals. Look at those turtle toes. Any feet lovers here? Here you go. There you go. Come on. Come on. Look at that. Look at that toenail. Come on. Yeah. Screenshot it. Go nuts. So here's him. Just sit him right there. Again, he's bald. Baldies unite. Let's look. He has a hell of a lot of accessories. First of all, he's got... what the fuck? Hold on. It's like Fort Knox breaking into this thing, which is good, especially in shipping. But I've actually, oh shit, something fall out. I've never seen this where like it's one. Ah, fuck. That's why it's secured in there. Oh. And there. Hold on. More things to clip. ASMR. Yeah, it's like a huge... It's like a U display all across, so they have this huge thing to keep them all in there. Pretty nifty. You know what? Let me... all this crap here. All this plastic nonsense. Noncery. I probably shouldn't throw out like British words that I really have no idea the full connotation. Hey Ken Drizzle. So, we got some extra hands that fell out on their own, but look, he's like reaching out, you know? Standard little peg thing. And again, they're pretty easy to pop off. A lot of folks, if you have trouble like getting stuff off, they'll tell you to like soak it in warm water or whatnot. It's honestly so freaking hot in this room that I think it's stepped it up for me. So he's got a cool hand, you know, reaching out for you. So there's one hand set. He has another set of hands, grippy hands. Favorite turtle? You know, it's weird. I'd probably say Mikey. Just because he's all around the funnest. He's got a lot of raw talent. He's just a cool dude. Though if you look at action figures, I have, like, when I go through them all, I have the most Leo. I don't know why that is. I didn't buy my action figures as a kid, obviously, so maybe everyone else likes Leo, and they got me Leos. I don't quite remember, but yeah, I'd probably say Mikey. How about you? Everybody in the chat, what's your favorite turtle? We got a grippy hand there. Let's put some weapons in there. So the Last Ronin, of course, in the story, only one turtle survives. All the brothers have died. So this one remaining turtle has all the weapons. So here's Donnie's bow. Can slip that right in there. pretty good fit. Wacha! Look at that. That's a long bow, too. So he's got Donnie's bow. Super cool. He also has Mikey's nunchaku, which there's like a real... Maybe down there. There's a real metal chain. Yeah, Mikey's just super fun, you know? You can't go wrong with Mikey. And when it's time to throw down, he's ready. So you got that. The only thing I don't like about nunchuck accessories generally, it's harder to pose with them because it's just like flopping around, right? You know, let me get you a little better light. Ooh, that's better. Darker. You can see more contrast. So it's harder to pose, but you kind of do like the armpit thing. I like when they do like a twirly nunchuck thing, you know? So, one pair of Mikey nunchaku. We also got one of Raph's size. You can see that's nice and painted there. Ooh la la. And everything really slips into the hands quite nicely. Some figures, like you really have to wiggle it, but these ones, they pop right in. And so, you know what? If you want him to be Raph, he's Raph. If you want him to be Donnie, he's Donnie. The rarest figure I own, probably I have the NECA San Diego Comic-Con Mirage Turtle box set, which was in like 2008 for Comic-Con. We have Leonardo's sword there. Ooh, that's sexy. That's probably the rarest set, just because they made it and they never really re-released it. I probably have, you know, I have a bunch of figures from my childhood. like this Mikey. Some of these might be rarer than I realize, but the thing is, as a kid, they made so many of them. Toys from Stranger Things series you can find. So the Stranger Things toys that I have these two that came with the turtles. Hopper, bam, bam. So you can see Hopper, again, he's pulling the piece on everybody. So he can pull it on Mikey here. Spoilers, not Mikey, Leo. It's Leo. Yeah, the Stranger Things, there are some figures that I think are pretty cool. They're kind of expensive, though. But I also want to get... Yeah, this is Hopper. Hopper right there. And this is 11. They came with these turtles. That's the weird combo crossover. Which... I mean, Turtles started in the 80s, so I guess that's why they did them. They should be putting out another set. I think of Dustin and Mikey will be with Donnie and Mikey. So it'd be kind of cool if they did like a Mikey and Mikey set. That would be fun. Yeah. They're pretty cheap too if you want them. Oh, look at this. So Leo's sword comes with the scabbard, is that? Oh, there you go. Oh, wow, look at that. It's like a big breadstick. And I think along his back, yep, this is 11. You can see in her little party shirt. She's got like the mom jeans. I guess in the 80s. It's pretty cool. I think their shirt is really fun, detailed. Pretty neat. Yeah, they put those out. They have other like proper figures of them. I should get more. I try to limit myself until I go overboard. And thank you for the likes, but it's kind of a tight fit. But I don't know. Maybe I won't do that. Ooh, like along his belt, there's a loop there. Probably jimmy them in there, but hold it. So he's got the sword. What else we got? He's got this thing, which is one of his like main weapons in the series. I don't know what it is. It's like some kind of like EMP stick, I think, in the comic that he uses. Ooh, that one's kind of a squeeze. It's pretty cool. I think it goes like that. I don't know. If anybody's well versed in ninjutsu and ninjutsu artifacts, what figure would I recommend? Not over $100. Well, for starters, what kind of figure? Like, what are you like? What character do you want? You know, like what would you be looking to get? Because there's a ton these days, honestly. Not too many on the cheap line. We have like a Mikey. Yep, teenager 11. She's effectively $20. Like honestly, Mikey's not out yet for this set. Like Raph, I think Raph came with Hopper and Leo came with 11. But you essentially get one Stranger Things and one Turtle for $40. If I was gonna get a Mikey, there's the Super 7 Ultimates line, which are turtles that look like this. They're kind of reissues or remakes of the very original line. Also 7 inches. This guy, I think, probably 7 inches. Yeah. Super 7 has a new line. They have a Mikey. Where is he? Like this Mikey, I think is really good. It's about like $50, but you can usually find him on sale, like Amazon or Big Bad Toy Store, maybe in person. Thank you for the likes. I think this is a great Mikey. They're coming out with Surfer Mikey very, very soon. So I'd probably do that, or the Playmates has some figures fairly cheap. So we have a kind of like a grappling hook claw thing, which it's got the little claw. Really hard to get it to focus on me. And it has like it's like a rope. So you could do some cool stuff, like he's going to be climbing. And hook it on a building, you know? Yeah, if you I don't know, if you send me like a message or like comment on one of my videos about it, I could look into it more or show you all the Mikeys, which I'm actually due for. So we got some accessories left. Oh shit. We're down to the tiny ones. Let's try not to lose them. Oh Jesus. These are super tiny. Here's like a little bomb. Can't even freaking show you. Right? So a very tiny bomb. Oh God. In his hand there. You know, right there. He's got some very tiny, they're cool. They're very tiny throwing stars. Kind of pointy and sharp. That's kind of dope. You get 3 of those. Then we got some goggles, and it's, I don't know if you can tell, but it's like a true, like a rubber band hair tie kind of thing. Oh, I see. Hold on. So you can, at one point, oh God, maybe it's not for this. Upside down. At one point in the comic, he's wearing his goggles at night. I think with his hood. So if I... Oh, God. Honestly, kind of hard to get him to stay on. People did it. So he's got the goggles. I could try to jam the hood on. Let's see. That's my kind of derp version. It's not on there super good. But I think that's going for one of his looks. So he's got the goggles you can kind of wedge in there. Well, I guess that's pretty good. And like the commercial and stuff, they kind of look. Why does that not focus? What is the deal here? There we go. Pretty nice goggles. Yeah, aren't they? I feel like they're remaking Street Sharks. Yeah, at least like the figures or something. I did like Street Sharks as a kid. After TMNT, they're pretty much everybody wanted to make a version of their TMNT, you know. So it kind of, you had all kinds of crazy stuff. Biker Mice from Mars, Street Sharks. You had all kinds of wild stuff. Here's like, if you want him to wear like a bandana, because his bald dome, it doesn't have it glued in. So you can put on the hood, of course. But if you like, you can jam in the bandana. That's pretty sweet. Right? Pretty nice. We also have here an alternate... Oh, okay. We have an alternate head. Which comes with a bandana already stuck in there. So there's that mug. Yeah, in the series, it takes place kind of in the future, so it's like I don't know, 10, 20 or 30 years. I can't remember exactly. So he's kind of grizzled, and they found his mutation didn't stop. So you can just pop the head off there, jam on his different head. Just thank you for the likes. Thank you. Yeah, and then you have like a much longer bandana head. Pretty nifty. That twist, he does the twist. Like, ooh, one more throwing star. I'm gonna lose this for sure. Like, look, a sense of how tiny that is, you know. That's freaking cool. All right, what weapon should I put on this guy? Who's your favorite turtle? Andrea? Aiden? Who's got the turtle? Yeah, I do like this figure a lot. The painting details, you can just see. It's just... Oh, hold on. Pretty wild. They do a lot. They just do so much on these. What a fun job. The folks who make the turtles, you know? You get to do the art and design this stuff all day. Let's see. I'll pop out. Let's do something cool. Again. Yeah. With these kind of figures, if you're trying to maneuver them, if there's any resistance, maybe try warming them up a bit. But we can do the nunchucks. Yeah, and the thing is, the articulation's not necessarily super good enough to like hold them on. Watch out. Yeah, they do. It's very detailed, and these figures, again, they're like $40 tops, if that, but you can get them on sale usually. So for the price, I think these NECA figures, I Can't get it to focus worth a damn. I think the NECA figures are just the best you can get. Yeah, Hopper and 11, like if you compare them directly, you know, like the details on Hopper, about as good as you can get for the budget. It's a different company that they just don't put as much money into it. So this is effectively a $20 figure, no paint. This one's $40, and they just really go the extra mile all around, you know. Sorry, I can't tell. The thing that sucks about TikTok lives is like I'm watching it on my phone, and so there's like a delay between what it shows you and what it shows me, I think, and I don't know. And so when I think it's not focusing, I don't know. Yeah, it would be cool, like if NECA would do their own version of stuff. I mean, she's got a rad backpack, though. Look at that. But yeah, so they're not super great. But it's pretty sweet, this figure. He's got the sigh. Fantastic. I love it. He's got the dangly bit. Or if you want some Donnie action. Love it. Yeah. Super happy with this figure. And like I said, you can. Like, people make their own dioramas. But they kind of give you one. Could take some like sweet pics, a background, do some video photography. Yeah, that's the Last Ronin. You know what I can do? I'll give you a close-up tour. Let's switch this baby around. Oh God, bear with me. Can I flip the camera? Oh no. Well, duh, I'm dumb. I'm a dumb man. So, yeah. You can see all his different stuff. Ooh, his hand was bent unnaturally. Yeah, for the $40, oh God, I stabbed myself. They pack in just a ton. Here's a little bomb thing. So tiny, the camera doesn't know how to focus. Extra head, grizzled. Sword with the breadstick sheath. Cha. Whatever this thing is. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's like some kind of EMP stick thing. But you can see they really put like a ton of detail in the paint. The hood. Like so. Compare him to Hopper. Hopper's a shorty. Yeah, what I do, honestly, usually I put them back in the package. And I only display certain things at a time. Yeah, because as a kid, everything like this, instantly lost, pretty much. 11. I like these figures a lot. They're just not. When you compare them to other ones, not so much. This one. Less detail overall, more shiny, less paint. But pretty sweet. Let's take. You can see I have a bunch. These are my old figures. The older ones. They just kind of went wild. Yeah. Yeah, generally, that's why I hate these things, because they're just, ugh. She'll chew on that stuff. But, yeah, I have all kinds of stuff tucked in there. And you get into these. All my Leos. This is where I realized I have like a ton of Leos. You know? Just a wild amount. And then I have a bunch still in the package. Some Funkos up there. Here's all my Universal Monsters figures. I like Raph holding Mikey's head. Then I got my wrestling figures. Some more Halloween ones. Pretty dope. Like that. Yeah. Yeah. So I think these are super cool. I found this one recently going through some really old stuff. He's like a spaceman, Raph. Pretty neato. Pretty neato. Yeah. So that is, my friends, the Last Ronin. I'm really lucky AliExpress didn't butcher mine. This box is basically flawless, I would say, honestly. Thank you, thank you. You should show off your collection. I know you have a bunch of like the littler toys. Oh, I can show you like the Kinder eggs, right? I got this little guy, like a Halloween Kinder egg. I don't know what he's supposed to be, some kind of monster, like a mummy face thing, maybe? Not sure. Look how cool, and he's chilling out with Werewolf Mikey. But yeah, folks, what else do you want to see? I have some stuff on the walls. One pro tip, don't keep your figures in sunlight. They'll end up looking like this, super faded. I'm not sure how much light is too much light, so I try to keep things a little dark in here. Or I try to keep them away from where the light would shine, so back in the corner. But they'll definitely fade them. I don't know if you're still in here, but the Mikey lover, fellow Mikey lover, this is one, they're going to do like a bigger version of this soon, which I'm super excited for. Same as Samurai Leo. I should be getting some more cool ones any day now. Super 7, NECA. Yeah, folks. So, this has been The Last Ronin. I just love, if you're a box lover, go ahead and get you one. You should be seeing them pop up at like Target or, Big Bad Toy Store soon. But for now, if you want to, you can literally just go onto AliExpress and buy one for it's like $21, 10 shipping. You'll get it in like 2 weeks or so. They'll ship it in like a bubble thing like this, so it might get damaged. You might not be lucky, but I was lucky and have basically a flawless box. So I think it's partly because the Last Ronin is like just the right size where it doesn't get squished, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, this turtle survived, and he went to live with Hopper and 11. Oh my. I don't know how... Did I send myself likes? That's weird. You can like your own thing, right? I don't know how to flip the screen. It won't let me. Maybe settings? No, I don't know. But, anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me on this little unboxing adventure. This is the first one I've done with these. Usually I try to make a video, but I thought a live would be fun. So it was super fun. I really appreciate all the likes, all the comments. Great group here. So I gotta